Hi, everybody. My name is Kennedy. I am so excited that you have joined today to hear a little bit more about a topic that we are all struggling through. And it might be a topic that you guys have struggled through in the past. It might be something that you are struggling with right now. And I had seen on the community that a lot of you were currently going through this with your little one. So if it's a topic that you guys have dealt with in the past, I'd love for you to comment below some hope for the others and just a little bit of words of encouragement that it gets better and any techniques that worked really well for you. If this is something that you guys are dealing with right now, I'd love for you to continue to watch and to learn a little bit more. The topic today is going to be contact napping, and I had seen a couple of you struggling with this, so I decided to hop on and just create a nice video for you. So this is something that really hits home to me as well. I have an 8-month-old daughter, and we had spent a lot of contact napping, time contact napping when she was little. And it really wasn't a problem from the start because obviously everybody loves those newborn cuddles. However, once it starts really deteriorating your mental health because you're sitting there all day calculating their wake windows, making sure that you're getting enough time for them to nap, and making sure that you're giving them enough daytime sleep, it really starts to eat away at your mental health and your emotional health. So I wanted to just let you guys know that you are not alone, and we have been through this as well. However, we are going to provide you guys some techniques and some foundational habits to get into so that you don't have to struggle with this anymore. So the number one thing I see is that people go based on how their baby is acting. Like if they are starting to get really cranky or fussy, they're already crying, they put them down for a nap. So what I want you to do first is to go ahead and take a look at the guides that I've added to the group and look at the wake windows and also look at the plan that I added in the guides as well for the newborn to 3-month age range. You guys are going to want to follow that. You're going to want to look at their wake windows and their tired cues, and you're going to start out at a base level of like what their wake windows should be and what I provide you. Start out at that. If you start to notice that they become tired before and they have their tired cues, which would be like rubbing their face, their eyes start to get kind of like glossy, they're looking to the side, they're not as interested in what you're doing, their eyebrows start to get red, those are all cues you want to see happen before you put them down to sleep. Now, those are some of those things that some people don't take into account, and they put them to sleep after that has happened and after the baby has started crying, and what time they kind of think they need to go down to sleep. The problem is that they're already overtired. So on top of all of that has just happened, they're already overtired. They're taking 15 plus minutes, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour to put them down to sleep, and you're fighting against them already being tired. It's like when you are overtired, it takes a long time for you to kind of like wind down, your brain to wind down, and for you to get settled and comfortable enough to get back to sleep. So just kind of think about it when that happens to you. Think about how that would happen to a baby and not being able to communicate to their parents that they're actually tired. So you want to look at their wake windows and make sure that you're taking into account their tired cues. Secondly, you want to also look at the environment that you have set them up with. So the environment being, where are they sleeping? So a lot of the times, yes, you're contact napping with them, and when they're newborn to 3 months old, they don't mind the light. They don't mind, going out in public and napping on you. However, if you are going to continue to have a really beneficial environment set up for them, I'm going to highly recommend that you start adding in being able to be in their room, in the nursery or whatever room that they sleep in for the night. I would want you to continue to do that during the day. So what you're going to do is go into the room that they sleep in, like the nursery or your room, wherever they're sleeping at that moment for the night, and continue to do the naps where they're sleeping. So if it's a bassinet or if it's a crib, you're going to want to make sure the lights are pitch black. I'm talking naps and night, pitch black. You want a 68 to 72 degree, like cool environment, a white noise machine that goes continuously throughout. and you want to make sure, obviously, like the white noise machine is loud enough that they can hear it and that's nice and soothing, but it's continuing to get the noise from outside eliminated. So those are the things you want to do. You also will want to do a arms and swaddle. I know sometimes you say these people or these babies fight the swaddles, and so you can try different techniques with the swaddles. You can try like the arms ones up. I highly recommend trying a swaddle for at least 7 days to really see if your baby is fighting it. I have had a couple of kids that do fight it before, but mostly it looks like they're fighting it and they don't like initially putting it on. Once they put it on and they feel secure, then they start to really like it. But try it, give it a go for at least 7 days and really understand if they are really fighting it or not. It might just be that they're initially not liking that comfortability part of it. And then you're going to use a passy as well. Now the swaddle and the passy are going to be used all the way up until about that 3 to 4 month age range. The swaddle, you're going to want to do a hands out swaddle as soon as they start to show signs during the day that they're rolling over. And for the pacifier, yes, we are going to drop that. I just wrote a Facebook post today about that at 4 months old. So all of those are great things all the way up until the newborn stage of about 3 months old. So the swaddle, the passy, all of that is great to use for their environment. So like I said, wake windows, environment, set them up for success beforehand, make sure they're not overtired, and those are the things we're going to implement first before we even try to put them down. So those are automatically like checklist things that you're going to be going through. And I have included them in the guides in the tip sections too, so if you want to take a look there. Secondly, we are going to do the pick up, put down method. Not sure if you guys have heard of this before, but it is a technique really good for the younger age group. So newborn to 3-4 months. Around 4 months, it starts getting a little bit more challenging, so we would probably use another method for them. But for the newborn age range, we are going to want to put them down and use the pick up, put down method. And in the plan also, and the guides listed above, there is a pick up, put down method example, so you can follow that. Essentially, you're going to put your little one down, put them with their passy, their swaddle. Obviously, the environment is ready, and you put them down to sleep. If they start to stir, you wait 1 minute, allow them to, and just to see how they do. If they start to cry, then you pick them up, you console them for 1 minute, you do a little shushing, you put them back down. You step away from the crib or the bassinet, wherever they are, and then allow them another minute or two of space. If they continue to like drift off to sleep, you let them drift off to sleep. If they are continuing to stir and they start to cry, you pick them back up and continue to do that again. You are going to do that every single time you put them down for a nap. So those are some techniques that we are going to use to apply for their naps so that we're able to put them down and to start allowing them the ability to independently fall asleep by themselves. Obviously, we are helping them along the way, but they are learning the ability that once they're in their crib by themselves, they are closing their eyes and they're the ones that are really doing it themselves. You're not holding them, rocking them, or anything like that. You're putting them down so that they fall asleep, but we're providing the environment and the situation that enables them to do so. So the next one is that if they are a newborn to 3 months old, we will continue to contact nap, for one nap only in the evening. So this will be your last nap of the day. I know that once they're a newborn to 3 months old, you want to get in all those cuddles and you want to hold them all day long, but if you want a really successful foundation for them, you really need to allow them the space to be able to start doing that themselves in their cribs. Now, I'm not saying don't do that at all. I'm not saying you have to cold turkey, not do any napping and getting any of the cuddles. First off, don't think that if you don't contact nap, you can't cuddle with them all day, because babies love and the ability to cuddle and to, be with you, smell you, all of that stuff. They love to interact with you. However, when they're napping, yes, there's something special about them being with you while they're on top of you and they're napping. However, let's limit that amount, because what happens typically is if we don't start to set limits on it and we don't start to put them down for any nap at all, they continuously continued to do that for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And then we get to continue into the situation where people reach out to me and say, hey guys, I'm all of a sudden realizing that I've been doing this for a long time now. Now at night they're expecting it. Now I can't put them down. And yes, just like me, the mental health is a real thing. Mental deterioration of feeling like I have no other purpose here. I'm just sitting here all day making sure that my baby's contact napping, making sure that they're getting enough sleep during the day, and then also starting to feel the guilt of it and saying, if I don't allow them to nap on me for the day, they won't get their sleep. So what else is there to do? I have to sit here all day to get their sleep. So that's something that we really want to make sure we don't get down the path of, because this is very important. They're going to be napping for a long time, all the way up until they're 3.5 years old, that they're going to be having naps or at least quiet time. So we want to make sure that we continue to set a really healthy foundation for them now. And now if you have gotten into that routine of providing a contact nap with them by like the 3-month-old plus age range, so if your baby is like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, if they are in that age range, you're going to want to definitely cold turkey get them into their crib for every nap, because now you're dealing with about 3, 4, 5 naps, typically around the 3-4 nap range. And then especially if they're about like the 5 to 6 month age range, they're really taking like 2 to 3 naps. So we really want to make sure that those naps are consistently in the crib, because if not, they're going to continue to want that. They are so much more alert, they're so much more aware of what's happening, and they are going to want to nap on you. That's going to continue through the night too. They are going to want to wake up and they're going to say, where's my mom? The same thing that I do during the day is not happening during the night. So what am I doing now? So I would suggest after 3 months that you cold turkey nap, have them continue to nap in their crib or their bassinet, wherever they're sleeping for night. That doesn't mean that, not every single day you can't go out in the car seat, not every day you can't go out on a stroller ride. Like, we have to limit it, but I'm not saying completely never again are you never allowed to leave the house. I'm just saying the last nap of the day, ideally, if you do like a quick 30-minute, that would be okay to go out for like a car ride or a stroller walk or something. But like around the 3 to 4 month age range, we really want to, as much as possible, keep them in their cribs or bassinet so that they really get the consistency. So this is what's going to set them up for a really great foundation. And if they have not been set up with a great foundation, then this is what's going to start this great foundation. So we want to be as continuous and consistent as possible. So the last thing that a lot of people talk about with contact napping and why they really wanted to solve it in the first place is because their babies are having short naps. This is a kind of like a cycle that I got into too, where I was calculating all day. My baby's only had, an hour and a half of sleeping. If she sleeps on top of me, that's the only way I can possibly get her to nap for longer. So I want to let you guys know that around the 3 to 4 month age range, this is really like the 4-month regression, they'll start to have sleep cycles that are around 30 or 45 minutes. You'll start to notice at around that age, they'll really start to get up at 30 minutes or 45 minutes. And that means that they either have a sleep cycle of 30 or 45 minutes. And around that 4-month age range, it'll really start to turn into 40 or 50 minutes, but they have to have, the hour or hour and a half of a nap time, a longer nap for that nap. However, if they get up in between the middle of that nap and they can't connect it to the next cycle, then they aren't able to officially connect it and have a long nap. So what you're going to want to do is you are going to go ahead and continue to lengthen that cycle with guidance and help so that they can do that themselves. A lot of the time we get caught in the trap of thinking that we have to contact nap so that they can get picked up and extend their nap. And this might work for like the 2 to 3 month age range for a little bit of time, but it's not going to work forever, because a lot of the time they're going to get that at the 30 to 45 minutes where their parents come to pick them up, hold them for the rest of the nap, and then why wouldn't they want that the whole time? They're going to continue to get into that. Humans and babies obviously are very habitual, so we are going to they are going to continue what they wanted, prior to that. They're going to wake up and expect what happened prior to them being put down to go back to sleep. So what you are going to want to do with the shortening and the lengthening and all of that is around the 3 to 4 month age, really consider thinking about how we can independently foster their connection of sleep cycles. And we are going to want to apply techniques that really help with that. And I've included those in the guides as well, so you can take a look at that. But we're really going to want to consider doing a technique because they need to lengthen those sleep cycles. If they don't lengthen those sleep cycles and connect them together, during the naps, they are going to be short, and at night, they are going to be short too. And they're going to get up in the middle of the night, expect you to come back and help them to go back to sleep, either by rocking, feeding, or using a pacifier, whatever, put them down to sleep. So those are really, really important, because if not, you're going to get caught up in this whole like short nap cycle. And then also during the night, they're going to get up, dozens of times expecting you to come back in because they wake up and the way that they were being put down is not continuously there. So to be able to, fix the short nap cycle, I do have a blog post in the guides as well, so you can take a look at the short naps. But consistently, I want you guys going forward to keep them in their cribs or bassinet. If they wake up from a short nap, which would be around like 30 to 45 minutes, give them space. Allow them at least 10 minutes. If they are around the 3 to 4 month age range, if they are around the 4+ age range, you are going to give them 20 minutes. So however you put them down to sleep, like rocking, feeding, using a passy, any of that stuff, that's going to not be there anymore. You are not going to feed them, rock them, use passy to sleep, or any of those things. When they wake up, they're going to expect that to help them to be put down again. And if we just get rid of those things and they are going into their beds wide awake, that is going to help them so much more when they're going to sleep. And then secondly, like I had said, when they wake up, if they do wake up in between those cycles and they need like more of a help to connect them to the next sleep cycle and to lengthen their naps, we are going to give them space, at least 20 minutes. If they are crying the house down, let's do 10 to 15 to start, but really around that 4 to 6 month age range, you can, especially if they're just hanging out in their crib playing, if they're just kind of like whining and fussing, they might try to be going back to sleep themselves. A lot of the times we go in there and we disrupt them and they're actually trying to go back to sleep themselves. So like I had said before, what we're going to do is to continue to allow them to have at least 20 minutes by themselves, as long as they're not crying the house down and all of that. But they need that space to be able to do that themselves and to learn how to do that themselves. And if they're not given the space, they're never going to do it. So like I said in the video, I had talked about wake windows, making sure the environment is good, following the guides, using the swaddles, the passies, all of that to make sure they're successfully set up with a really good environment and sleep situation prior to them being overtired. So putting them down at the right time, trying the pick up put down method, and making sure that you check out the files and the guide so that you can try putting them down while they're awake and fostering that independence with them. And then if they are a newborn to 3 month, making sure they just do one contact nap in the evening, and that would be like a 30-minute nap, and then the rest by themselves in their bassinet or their crib. And then 3+ months, do just no more contact napping, do cold turkey consistency with all of their naps in their crib or their bassinet. And then lastly, if they have a short nap, about that 30 to 45 minute, giving them time and also cutting out habits prior to them being put down. So you're going to want to cut out the rocking, soothing to sleep, a pacifier, feeding to sleep, any of that stuff prior to being put down. And then if they wake up in between the 30 to 45 minute range, around that like sleep cycle in the middle, having a short nap, you're going to want to give them at least 10 minutes if they are a newborn to 3 months old. And then if they are a 4+ months old, you are going to want to give them 20 minutes unless they're crying the house down. So I hope this helped out for you guys, and I really hope to continue to make really good content that helps you. If you do have questions, please let me know either in the comments or send me a message and let me know about your specific situation, and I hope to help you guys best. So you guys have a great day, and let's continue to foster that independence for our kids. Bye.